Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Alexander and today I'm going to review A Clokwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. It was published in 1962 and is a dystopian novel of about 150 pages. And if you don't count Exponential Apocalypse, this is the second dystopian novel I've reviewed on this channel. And since I'm probably going to review Brave New World soon, that will make it a nice 3. Plot summary! Actually first, before we do the plot, I just want to say a quick word about plot summaries in general. You see, sometimes you may have noticed I like to make these fancy images that accompany the story, but this is quite a time-consuming process and I can only really do it when I have the time to do it and when I feel that it's necessary. So when the story is quite straightforward, I may sometimes feel like skipping it, and this is what's going to happen today. I will just tell you what happens without the images. So, the story takes place in a society that hasn't changed a lot technologically, but with clear differences in terms of culture and government. Everyone's living in this police state, although in spite of this, it's still really not safe to go outside at night anymore. Alex, the main protagonist, is one of the youngsters who's committing crimes and violence at night, and A Clockwork Orange is the story about him getting caught and society's attempts to change him into a better person. Also, I should point out that the book is told by Alex himself, and he uses this kind of teenage slang that seems to involve a lot of words derived from Russian. It's a little bit hard to read in the beginning, but you get used to it quite quickly, and then it also adds some realism to the book because it feels as if someone is actually talking to you. There's two things you need to pay attention to in A Clockwork Orange. The first thing is the surrounding government. Through the words of Alex, you get an idea of what society has turned into, and it's not very pretty. It's not a dictatorship like is in so many other dystopian novels, but it's clear that the government isn't doing its job very well. It's hard to pinpoint exactly where something is wrong, but it's obvious that people are just expecting it to be normal that at night you have robberies and rape going on all the time. And so of course we need to keep in mind that this was written during the Cold War. And maybe Tony Boy was trying to say something about a rift being created between what the people wanted and what the government was doing. Of course, I could be wrong about this, I'm not a historian and I don't know exactly how the situation was during the Cold War in 1962, so you can read into that whatever you would like. The second thing you need to pay attention to in this book is the character and personality of Alex, the main protagonist, and how it develops throughout the book, or rather how it doesn't develop. Alex and his friends are doing some really bad and cruel things to other people, to the point that Alex is going to get arrested and sent to prison for several years. But even though all of this and more is going to happen to him, he never seems to question his behaviour or to regret any of the bad things he's done. A Clockwork Orange is a story of good and evil and asks the reader some serious philosophical questions about whether goodness is something that is inherent in a person's nature or whether it's something that you can artificially impose on a person. Now, when I reviewed A Catch in the Rye, I remember saying that you're not meant to relate to the main character. And I got quite a few comments disagreeing with me on that point. And I know this is risky, but I'm going to try this again, although I'm now going to phrase it very carefully. In A Clockwork Orange, you're not meant to feel the same way as the main character. If you disagree with me, please throw yourself in front of a truck. Alex is a bad person. If you think the mentality of Alex is just a product of the oppression of the state and him being a teenager, then you must have had a really messed up adolescence, I'm sorry. So, overall, I quite like this book. It can be a little bit hard to read sometimes because of the nasty things that happen and because of the language that's deliberately made a bit confusing to understand. But it's short and it's clever. It's not the kind of book that I would read if I just wanted some quick, light entertainment. But for a classic, it's nice and easy. And despite what I said earlier, you do in the end start to feel for the main character, despite him being a total scumbag. That concludes my review of A Clokwork Orange. Hope you enjoyed the review and see you soon.